Hello indie game fans, welcome to another ridiculously stacked week of indie games with 30 titles of interest, beginning with Rakugaki, a 3D platformer that sure seems to have vibes of Jet Set Radio, taking place in a dystopian city. Make your way around and use graffiti to bring back colour to the world, battling robotic minions along the way. The platforming looks sleek and looks to be combining two recent critical darlings in Hi-Fi Rush and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but appears to be more linear and level-based rather than an open-world city, but still looks awesome.
The truth. The truth is an ugly mistress. But I ain't no ugly duckling.
A game that I am very excited about is Duck Detective: The Secret Salami, an Ace Attorney-like detective adventure game with a Paper Mario-inspired art style, in which you play as the titular detective taking on various cases. The main antagonist is the Salami Bandit, as our hero gets deeper and deeper into a sinister sausage-based conspiracy using the power of deduction to solve the case, looking like a light-hearted take on the genre, so I don't think you'll be seeing any murder in this, for example, but the overall packaging, from voice acting to music and art, looks absolutely fantastic. Love indie games? Sign up to my newsletter to get a weekly dose of what's hot, along with some news and of course, weekly game giveaways, so if interested, link is in the description below. The release of Starstruck Vagabond did creep up on me and is of interest since this is being made by Ben Croshaw, better known as Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation or Fully Ramblomatic fame, who has dabbled in game development in the past and has now made this live simulation game. He cites Stardew Valley as an inspiration, but with spaceship maintenance and delivering cargo instead of farming, as you play as a space captain waking up from cryo sleep 2,000 years into the future and find yourself in an unknown star system with a new looming threat. There's a relationship system and a main narrative, along with mini-games, customization options and more, with it having a definite end to the narrative and encourages multiple playthroughs since, for example, you can only recruit 5 out of 9 possible crew members and has the potential to be a game with staying power. Here's an adorable looking title in Coffee Caravan, a roguelite management sim in which you are running a mobile coffee shop, moving from location to location, setting up and attending to your customers, unlocking new upgrades to use for the next day. This follows in the footsteps of games like Plate Up and Feed the Cups, of mixing the overcooked style time management frantic gameplay with roguelite elements, where the formula has worked in the past, so I don't see any reason why it shouldn't here.
So, I heard you like card games.
I'm pretty excited about this game since Zet Zillions is a roguelite deck builder in the vein of Slay the Spire, but with an awesome art style, and also the fact that you're in command of a planet ship named Baby Violence and can use it to blow up other planets. There is a card combination system that looks fun, with the demo being well received, and this is also from the developer of Wolfstride, an underrated mech battling JRPG from 2021, and is set in the same universe, although no prior knowledge is required.
Watch out, people trash!
Other games begins with C.A.R.D.S RPG, the Misty Battlefield, a turn-based tactics title like Fire Emblem, but with card-based deck-building combat, looking like an intriguing idea, although I don't know how badly this will slow down combat, coming to us from the large Japanese company Acquire Corp, so it isn't quite indie. After a little bit of a delay, Crown Wars The Black Prince releases this week, a medieval turn-based tactical RPG that looks good, also coming to us from a larger studio out of France and looks to be of interest to fans of the genre.
Consider it done.
Right. Aim for the eyes.
Shoot 'em up fans, this one's for you, since Devil Blade Reboot is a remake of a game from 1996 and looks like classic fun. I believe esports has a negative connotation for indie game fans, but Esports Godfather is a deck-building simulation title that has you managing a team involved in a fictional MOBA and looks to be strategically interesting.
Yep, okay.
Ready?
Yes, heal?
One at me.
No, heal.
Yeah, fine. Welcome to Galacticare.
Galacticare is a management simulation title in the vein of Theme Hospital or 2 Point Hospital but with aliens, looking like a clever twist on the idea.
Yes.
The plague came quickly. The rot and fear bloomed. Pestilence claimed the land, the crops, the animals. Our thriving community withered. Death came. And so we ran, seeking refuge in the forsaken lands of Lunar Nova. I have protected our village from the creatures that would devour us. But my time as the Warden must end. You have been chosen. Reap the harvest. End the hunt.
A first-person survival horror roguelite is Harvest Hunt, in which you have to protect the villagers from all sorts of unspeakable horrors, looking creepy with a cool art style. Hauntii is an action-adventure game in which you play as a ghost with a possession mechanic that looks very clever. we also have the 1.0 release of Mech Engineer, a management simulation title with semi-auto battles, looking to be one of the more interesting releases out there, with there being nothing else quite like this. A throwback co-op Vania title is Pampas and Selene, The Maze of Demons, a tribute to the MSX2, and is available as a ROM, coming to us from the developer of Unepic and Unmetal, and should be great.
Or battle as Selene, the miraculous mage, and annihilate enemies with your magic spells. Swap between them to complete puzzles and discover great relics in the ancient castle. Better yet, don't swap at all! Play with a friend in local multiplayer, side by side against the forces of evil. Or play together online. Connect on Steam to share the experience through the wonder of the internet. Gain favor from the gods themselves to dive into evil realms and overcome the challenges within. Do you have what it takes to make it through?
Once upon a time, in the forgotten seaside town of Southfold, there was a crumbling old cottage, home to two old fuddy-duddy parents.
Paper Trail is a puzzle adventure game set in a foldable paper world, looking beautifully designed and similar to something like Kato in terms of gimmick.
You see, that girl is me. And this, it's a letter, saying I'm running away. At least I was, until this storm started. Now, I guess we're stuck here until the rain clears. So we may as well get to know each other. My name is Paige, 18 years old, astrophysicist in training. Hobbies include journaling, origami, oh, and bending the space-time continuum. But more on that later.
A wonderful looking adventure game is Pine Hearts, in which you are exploring the caravan park and uncovering its secrets, looking absolutely delightful. Rooftops Alleys is a third-person 3D platformer that has you doing parkour, running, jumping, hopping, rolling, sliding, and more. Although having to go through hoops does remind me of Superman 64, but hopefully this is much better, with it being by a solo developer as well and looks impressive. A neat-looking first-person survival game is Serum, in which you need to extract and repeatedly inject yourself with the green serum in order to stay alive, battling mutant creatures and uncovering your own mysterious past. Puzzle game fans, this one's for you. The Court of Wanderers is a minimalist open-world puzzle game, and as mentioned, I found myself gravitating towards these as I get older, so if you are as well, give this one a shot. Here's an interesting mix of genres in The Detective Reaper Invites, a self-styled roguelite crossed with a detective adventure game, so think Ace Attorney deck builder and you have some idea, looking interesting for sure. One of the sickest looking games of the week is The Tower on the Borderland, a survival horror title in which you are attempting to escape said tower, nailing the visuals of the PS1 era games. And hopefully, they won't be getting a letter from the lawyers of Gearbox anytime soon. I have a soft spot for Arkanoid or Brick Breaker style games since they are about as classic as you can get and add in modern RPG-ish elements to the classic arcade experience, and you got my attention, with Tiny Breaker's Camp being exactly that, which is why it is the hidden gem of the week. There are so many good games this week that Venture to the Vow ends up here, a Metroidvania title with a creepy theme, not least because our main character wears a deer mask or head on his face and might be pretty good as well. I received a press release that Witch and Lilies is releasing in early access this week, a gorgeous anime Yuri dungeon crawler in which relationships can form between the different characters, where this looks like an old school first-person dungeon crawler with combat switching to the very familiar turn-based combat that does remind me of the Etrian Odyssey games.
先輩冒険者に励まされ、ライバルと競いながら 魔女の迷宮の謎に挑む。迷宮の奥底を目指し、冒険者たちを募ってパーティーを結成せよ。10種類の個性的な特徴を持つジョブから見た目や性格を選んで冒険者を登録。5人のパーティーを結成して冒険に挑もう。冒険者たちはスキルの取り方次第で同じジョブでも様々な能力へと育っていく。冒険者に指示を出し、迷宮に渦巻く魔力を与え、冒険を導くのがあなたの役目。冒険者たちを強くする力、それは女の子同士の絆。パーティーに指示を出し、関係性を育てよう。交流を重ね、冒険者同士の絆が深まり、パートナーになれば、より強力なスキルが使えるように。冒険者の間には相性があり、一筋縄ではいかないこともいろいろと。女の子同士の絆の力で魔女の迷宮を踏破せよ。
A game with a pun in the title is Yolk Heroes Along Tamago, which, as a dad, I can appreciate, being a pet simulation RPG in which you raise an elf hero from an egg, with the RPG combat and pixel art looking excellent. This one's for indie game developers. The free indie game marketing resources are ready, so sign up via the link in the description below to get it in your mailbox.
In the golden dawn, our village emerges.
A classic-looking city builder title is Synergy, one that is in the vein of the Impressions or Sierra city builders like Referral or Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, but with a sci-fi theme instead. Humanity has found their way onto a hostile planet, now having to learn about, adapt to, and respect this new ecosystem in order to survive. It looks to have all the classic city building elements, like having to manage multiple resource production chains, all with a wonderful Mobius-inspired art style as well.
Through our perseverance, our village thrives.
I was so happy when Besiege the Splintered Sea was announced, since this is a paid DLC expansion to Besiege from 2020, which of course adds water physics, ships and parts to the mix. The original is one of those breakout hits in the physics construction sandbox space, with player creations in the Steam Workshop being very impressive indeed, and this new expansion adds a 10-level oceanic campaign as well as 8 new blocks to play around with. The water physics and its implications will add to the game, with there being a separately constructed sandbox outside of the campaign for you to mess around with, making this even better. We get not one but 2 space farming / life simulation titles this week, with little known Galaxy looking to be another high potential title, in which you play as a new captain in training, exploring the galaxy and solving its mysteries. This is a cozy game in the vein of Stardew Valley, and does have a more familiar UI as well as things you do in the game like farming, cooking and clearing trash. There's a pet system in which you raise little creatures named Xenos, hopefully not of this variety, but also being able to go to various planets to explore and gather resources. romance and relationship systems are in place, along with a leveling up or ranking up system for your captain, a museum to collect stuff and so much more, and might just blow up in popularity. I told you that I have a hankering for puzzle games since recent entries like Void Strangers and Peccarat Down the Bun Barrels are interesting, and in a similar vein, we have Owls of Sea and Sky, an open-world Sokoban-style block-pushing puzzle game in which you are exploring an archipelago. It has a non-linear structure, so you are free to explore in whatever direction that you please, and interestingly, the developer says that if you get stuck, they encourage you to go somewhere else to explore and then come back with a new perspective and not come back with new powers, so it might be a knowledge-based game like Tunic that could have awesome revelations. However, they also cite a Zelda influence in their design, so I'm not ruling out key items or power-ups, and of course, will have its share of secrets as well. Between this and Animal Well, puzzle game fans are eating well right now, with a couple more in the pipeline that I hope will deliver as well. By the time you watch this video, there should probably be a new trailer for Songs of Conquest on their YouTube channel, since they had it listed as a YouTube premiere, but for now, this early trailer will have to do, where the pixel art of this Heroes of Might and Magic inspired strategy game is excellent and has steadily gained content and momentum through early access, and needless to say, is very good. But whether you're a HOMM fan or not, if you even have any passing interest in strategy games, I would highly encourage you to pick this up and sign up to my newsletter as well, since there might just be a giveaway incoming. Watch this video for more awesome pixel art titles.